All right. I welcome you all to today's virtual art talk. This is the first that I'm ever doing in lifetime. I give all the praise to God. My name is Charles Gordon Namde. I'm a believer, and so for that reason, I will launch this meeting in the name of the Lord God Almighty. And I say thank you, Father, for helping me through to this point in time. And as an artist, I'm doing this, and I'm very grateful. So, going straight into what we have today, I am a photographer, I'm an appreciator of arts. I'm that kind of guy that is also expressional with arts. Any form of art I lay my hands on, be it photography, fashion, designing, traditional arts, I use it as a medium to express myself. That's why I say I'm expressional with arts. So, but then for the sake of earning a living, I do more of photography. And then you know that one thing that comes with this is that you get to work with respect to what the clients want. So they are the ones that will tell you what they want you to make, and then you make it for them, and then you get paid for it. So most of the times the works are not usually conceptual, and there's no real concept or connection with the one that has done the work, the photographer. So but then that's the reason why I've set this art stock forum, so that from time to time I can go beyond what the clients are demanding. I can as well just create something that has concept behind it, and then use it as a medium to pass my message to my own generation. And then I come to this forum, this art forum, and then I come to this forum and discuss it with people, and then it will be a means of communication. All right. So that is why we are here, and this is the first art talk that I am having. So we are going to go into what we have today. I'm going to start with the title of the artwork that we are going to be exploring, and then after which I will get into the process and then the meaning, and then I'll call in our guest speaker. So I guess I'll have to share my screen with you guys. So the title of today's art talk is Judas' Daughter. You've seen it in the flyer, I've seen it everywhere, Judas' Daughter. And this is the work here. It's a photograph. So we are going to be exploring this work, Judas' Daughter, and we are going to be using it to get some values. So I'm going to start by introducing the work, the title Judas' Daughter, and then I'll take you to a walk through the process and then the message behind the work. That's the meaning of the art. So starting from the process, how I was able to create the work. It was during my sister's birthday, towards her birthday. That was 2023. I was in Enugu State. So I was with her then at home, and then I needed to create an image for her birthday. So I was initially planning to go to take her to a studio, book a session there, and take some shots for her. But then while planning towards it, an opportunity came for me at home. I got a work that I was to execute back then, and then I needed to rent up some equipments. So I rented them that day and brought them back home the evening, so that the next day I would take it to the field and take some photographs. That's the work that I got. So when I got home, then it occurred to me, I said, wow, dear, do you know that we can create an artwork with it? Do you know we can maybe take some shots against your birthday with this? Now we have an equipment that we can just set up a mini studio in this space and then get something done. And then she said, yeah, it's a good idea, maybe I can try it out. And then she went in and changed, got an outfit, and then we started shooting. Or more, we turned our parlor upside down that day. And well, our parents kind of tolerated us. That's one of the things that comes with having a child that is creative. It started from when we were small, when we were little. I think I can remember back then when I would look at a remote control and I'll be reasoning, wow, maybe we can turn this remote control to aeroplane, it will fly. And by the time I'm done with that thought and processing it, I must have spoiled everything there and then shatter the whole thing and then cause a lot of damage. And then they will find a way to, of course, you have to be punished and then also to curtail me, to maybe help me, guide me through this world of creativity. And that's one of the challenges that parents face. And they will also have to, over time, groom their children. You know, when you see this kind of traits in them, you groom them. Of course, sometimes they will wreak havoc, but then you just have to bear with that aspect of the beautiful thing that comes with creativity. Also direct them, channel them, give them the opportunity to learn more of their passion. So back to the story, I we started shooting there in the parlor. I think I will share some of the images that we shot before we got to this particular one. I think I've already dropped it here in the in I've dropped it and I've pinned it. We see some of the images, the link to to my Instagram post where you see the post. I also drop it on the WhatsApp group so that those that don't get to follow up in this channel will also look through the images in the WhatsApp group. So first of all, the first image, you see that image with orange background. I created it by bringing a board, as a backdrop, a board that one of our neighbors who was packing out gave us. He said that we should just keep it for him, that he will come and pick it up very soon. So I brought it out, brought it into the parlor, and then set up the lights and everything, and told her to sit in front of the board, and it served as a backdrop. And then I shot her against it. And then later I used Photoshop to light it up, to add some textures, and to make it look that beautiful. So next to it, I also got, yeah, that's for the one with the orange background. But then for this one that has the image of a lion behind her, yes, I got something just sparked in my head, and then I went to the back of our door and got an old rug, the center rug, that we were almost planning to trash it out. So I got it and stretched it over the wall, and then made her to stand in front of it, and then it served as a backdrop, and then I captured her against it. You can see some of the images. Yeah, this is one of them. Then this is one of them also. This is the one that I told her to stand in front of the rock. I see they're all looking fine and beautiful. She's actually a beautiful lady. So yeah, the process of the work. So yeah, you can see this one. I love this especially. And then for this is where we go to this another image that is very similar to this one that I titled Judas' daughter. So when I got the rug and I stretched it, then for this one that she's holding something like a treasure in her hand, I got a diffuser. The diffuser of my speed light is a round stuff. So I got it and I told her to hold it. So when she held it, I shot her that way. I posed that and then took a shot with that. Then later on, I went online and then generated the image that I used to fill the diffuser on AI. I used AI to just generate a golden, or rather a silver egg that has a sculpture of lion engraved in it. And then when I was done, I took it to Photoshop and then manipulated it so that it will fit into her hand, and then use some tools in Photoshop to also knock off the diffuser that she was holding, added some shadows to make it realistic, and boom, we got this work done this way. So that's the process of how I was able to execute the work. So getting into the meaning of the work. But before we get into that, you can learn something from this process. You can learn that you can start up something or get something done with the little you have. With the little you have, improvisation can give you an edge, especially in Nigeria where we don't have that better enabling environment, and there are so many factors that we are lacking that makes for success. But then you can always improvise. You can always make some smart and legal moves that will help you to get what you want instead of sitting down and waiting for a better opportunity when you know that it might not come. So it's also a lesson that you can take home from this work and learn that you can you can make out something from the much you have while you grow. So that's for the process. And then for the meaning of the artwork, I'm going to be reading out the concept. I posted it on my Instagram page. The link is also here. The link to this video that I described it in that post. So you can also look it up. So well, before then, when I shot this work, the reason why I got the rug that has lion behind it and I needed to manipulate a treasure that has the face of a lion is just that I wanted to capture her personality, you know, that she's this brave young lady that I've seen, that I know. And then from sometimes I see her, I call her Queen. She does not fear figures. Mention money, she won't shake. She'll just be looking at you. And then she's confrontational, and she does not, you know, that's kind of, I've sensed some kind of brave attitude in her, braveness. And then I wanted to maybe depict it with an image. That was why I just remember that we had the rock there, and I then brought it out and stretched it and used it to shoot her. And then but then that was the limit of the concept I had in mind. But you know that sometimes ideas grow and forms into something better over time. So when I got to name this work Judas' Daughter happened to be when the Policy Innovation Center came up with a call for artists to submit works. They were planning a gender and inclusion summit. So they needed artists, photographers, painters to just submit works that will promote gender inclusion, you know, and also inclusion of those that are kind of maybe disabled in one way or the other or something like that. So when I saw it, my mind had picked interest, and I was now thinking, what am I going to do? Then my mind fell back to this work, and then I brought it out and then needed to now conceptualize it properly, to define it, to tell a story with it. And then I prayed to God and I told God, I needed to guide me through. And I started writing. Inspiration came and I started writing. And then that was when I titled the work Judas' Daughter. So I will take you through the stuff that I was able to gather and how I was able to tell a story with this artwork. So I described it as Judas' daughter. And you know, the Bible describes Judah as a lion's whelp who goes up to hunt his prey with strength and agility. Prey can be a metaphor for means of livelihood. So this portrays Judah as a warrior and a prosperous merchant. You know, the offspring of Judah are brave and independent. They go up to hunt down what it takes to sustain them. Now, this was lifted from the Bible. You know, some people have their own views and take of what the Bible is. Some believe it's a religious book, some believe it's a Jewish literature, some believe it's a blessed information that brings life eternal, some believe that it is a book that is worth reading, some believe that it's a book that is a must if someone must end up in life and eternity with a better life. But whatever view you have on the Bible, I still encourage you to read it up and see for yourself what it's all about. But then I derived this concept from the Bible when Jacob was blessing his sons. When he got to the point of Judah, he described Judah as a lion's whelp, that's a young lion. And then he started talking about Judah and then reflecting through the offsprings of Judah, the kind of personalities that they came to be. You see that Jacob was actually right, that these guys were brave and these guys were doing well in entrepreneurship and also in war. They could fight, they could confront challenges. They weren't pulling themselves, but they weren't cowards, so to say. Talk of Caleb. Caleb was from the tribe of Judah. If you look through the record of Caleb, when other tribes, people from the tribe of Dan, from other tribes came, 12 tribes of Israel, they sent spies to go and check up a land that they were about to invade. Now only Caleb and Joshua came back with a positive report. Other ones saw the sizes of the people there that they were giants, and then they kind of freaked out. But then Caleb, with that kind of a lion's heart, came and said that we can defeat them. Yeah, and he was very positive, very optimistic. So you see Caleb reflecting that attitude of a lion, and you see Absalom also a very brave young man who could dare challenge his father to dethrone his dad. It's on a negative side, but then you can also see that this guy was brave. Talk of Joab, who was also a fighter in the Bible, in the record of the Bible. Now you talk of David, who was also a very strong king in his own time. So now looking at these people now, you see that these guys from the tribe of Judah, they were strong, they were brave, they were fighters. Now you also talk of the merchant side of Judah. You see someone like King Solomon from the tribe of Judah, who was the wealthiest man in the Bible. He also kind of portrayed this image of Judah being a successful merchant. Now, Solomon was also a top contributor of the book of Proverbs. So when we talk of Judah, you can imagine a people that are brave and that are entrepreneurs. They can go up to hunt down whatever it takes to sustain them, So that is the idea of who Judah is all about. Or when you tag someone Judah, then what does it mean? Then you're talking of a brave person, someone that has the guts, someone that doesn't need much motivation to go for what he wants. Now let's bring it down to a female, the Judah's daughter. Now, the book of Proverbs talks about a woman. Remember I told you that Solomon, being from the tribe of Judah, is also a top contributor of the book of Proverbs. Now, you look at Proverbs chapter 31, verse 13 to 28, you hear of a woman full of strength, who is fearless, full of strength and honor. She is like the merchant ship. She brings her food from far. She is confident in what she trades. She is so wealthy that she buys real estate in hundreds of plots and hectares. She is so independent that people rather depend on her for livelihood, for living. Now I call her Judah's daughter because this passage of the Bible portrayed a woman who was thriving in an economy that was dominated by men. Imports and exports, real estate and other stuffs. She was thriving in her own time. Back then, when civilization was still forming, but she was still thriving as a woman in her own time. The Bible portrayed this woman. I call her Judah's daughter, and that is where I drew the inspiration for this artwork, Judah's daughter. So Judah's daughter is illustrated in this monochrome photography. That's this black and white photography. Stands with every boldness. Look at the model. Stands with every boldness, firmly holding her treasured merchandise with confidence. She is to be admired. So I created this conceptual work of art to evoke a sense of admiration and awareness that is driven towards encouraging women to participate in legitimate and high-income trades of their choice with every boldness and confidence, like Judah's daughter. So I will say that it's my deepest passion to use this masterpiece to implore the society to form systems and policies that will give birth to more Judah's daughter, especially in Africa. So that's it. I'm also using this artwork also to celebrate, or let's say to talk about, to point out one amazing thing I've noticed about women lately. I will say that I noticed that William Shakespeare once said it that women, just in one of his recent posts, that women have this kind of positive and consistent spirit, that whenever they put their mind into something to achieve it, that they won't give up until they achieve it. And when they support you with that kind of spirit as a man, you also have a very big advantage. Now, so you see the spirit of consistency and the spirit of positivity that he cited in women. Now, someone might argue and say that it is a gender thing, that it is not, or rather it's not a gender thing, that it is rather a thing of personal difference. Okay, fine. But then, look at our mothers. You also agree to some extent that beyond gender, that we've seen this unusual trait in women, that once they put their mind, their emotion into something, that they don't really give up on time and that they are consistent, and that kind of makes them thrive in that thing over time. Now look at our mothers and see the way they do. Now our mothers, they are not, will I say, our mothers are not, our African mothers, they may not be, they may not have involved themselves in high income trades, but look at how they do were in the low income trades that most of them engage themselves in. Now they go into it with passion, they go into it with diligence, they go into it with every sense of commitment. In fact, for an average African mother, you may not know her real name in the streets. Check your street, they might just know her with two things: the name of her child or her children, and then the name of what she trades. And these are the things that are really attached to her identity, that she doesn't mind giving up her name for it. So here someone call a woman Mama Emeka, Mama Chigozie, Mama Favor, Eyafumi, Eyafemi, Eyabola. That's the mother of Bola. Now, and that's how they address women, most of them, our African mothers in the streets. Now, the next thing you also hear is nwaanyị crayfish, nwaanyị azụ, nwaanyị garri, nwaanyị tomato, nwaanyị abacha. The woman that sells abacha, the woman that sells tomato, the woman that sells fish. Now, this is what they kind of attach their identity to show how committed that they can be in their own craft, in their own trade, that they don't mind losing their name to what they do. They give it every sense of commitment. In the next 5 years, you see them there. In the next 10 years, you see them there, and they are sustaining their family with it. In fact, many of them have been able to raise children that are now successful with that kind of hustle. So it's a hustling spirit that I must say that I admire in our mothers. So you can also learn from this. And beyond that, I can also talk about women in business. I've come to Lagos and I've observed that there are a lot of boss ladies here who now took this spirit of our mothers and they are now using it in high income trades in their career, both in the banking industry, in the creative industry, talk of the fashion industry, across different industries. You see that there are women that are thriving, that there are women that, will I say, that are thriving in what they are doing, and they are boss ladies, and they are not failing in it, and they are growing in it. So you can also learn from these women. So you might be there, I don't know if you're a woman, and you might be thinking, well, I can't make it in this endeavor, I can't make it in this trade because I am a woman. No, I want you to go out there and be motivated by women that are also doing well in whatever they are doing in the high income trade. And I also want you to derive inspiration and motivation from our mothers in the streets that may not be involving themselves in a high income trade, but then whatever they are doing, the little thing they are doing it with diligence, and it is paying. In the little way it is paying. Now imagine that you take motivation from the women that are thriving in the economy of Nigeria, and then also draw inspiration from our mothers. Now you become a better version of your mother, that you are now with that spirit, and then you are now putting that work, that commitment in something that brings about gain, something that brings about proper gain, what I can call high income trade. So this is one of the purpose of this work, this review, to also make you to think about it, to be motivated into engaging yourselves in high income trades with diligence, like our mothers, so that we can become a better version of our mothers. It's also to address our guys. There are people that I don't think it's happening now, or the rate at which it's happening might have reduced, but I just hope that we don't still have people that are threatened by the success of women, that feel threatened by the success of women. So if you're that kind of guy and you're listening to me and you feel threatened by the success of a woman, then I advise you to do away with that mentality. We need to have more Judas daughters in our midst in Nigeria. Now look at your sister, look at the woman, the lady you are in love with, who you are going to spend, or who you are spending the rest of your life with. You should feel good, and you should give her any kind of support that she needs whenever you see her sharing a dream of becoming great, of thriving in a particular endeavor. Don't feel, oh, let her not become that big. No, no, let's not. Let's look at what even started happening from ages, how women could thrive back then. I also believe that our mothers now, our sisters, our female friends, our wives can also thrive now. So this is also to encourage our men to, you know, to support the women in our lives and the women in our society to become as great as they want to be, and realize that there's no competition in greatness. I also want to use this medium to also ask the women, maybe I hear you're a lady, I want to ask you a question. Are you aware that there are certain things that have been put in place to establish women in career and business in this our own time? Are you aware of the advantages that women also have in this our time? You know that some of us may not be aware of these things. You need to be aware. There are NGOs. In fact, someone might actually argue that men are now being kind of ignored in our generation, because a lot of NGOs, but that's a talk of another day. But I want you to understand that a lot of NGOs are pursuing dreams, and they are doing stuffs in favor of women and children, in favor of women. So you should be aware of this. You should be aware of the grant opportunities. There are certain grant opportunities that are meant for only ladies, for only women. Men can't access it. But I've never seen a grant opportunity that is meant for only men. But it is an advantage on your own side as a woman. Are you aware of the grant opportunities that are meant for only women? Are you also aware of the grant opportunities that are meant for entrepreneurs, irrespective of their gender? So when you're aware of this, you can leverage on it to also push yourself up. You need to be aware of what is happening in our community, in our society. You need to go surf the internet, make your research, and know what can put you at a very great advantage as a woman to thrive in high-end countries. Now, I also want to ask you, are you willing to put in the commitment and the work that is needed for success as a woman, seeing that greatness and success do not really pay attention or respect gender or race, but it only respects those that keep to the principle. So you need to be willing to, as you come to the awareness of the things, the advantages you have as a woman, you need to be willing to put in the work that is required to make for your success, to engage the principles of success, the principles of diligence, the principles of commitment, and every other thing that is required for you to become a successful woman in whatever you are doing in life. I'm also using this medium, this artwork also to encourage you to put in the work, to be diligent in what you are doing. So in summary, I will say that you should put in your mind into what you are doing as a woman. I'm encouraging you. I'm telling you that you can do better and you can become better. You can be a Judas daughter. So I will run through what I've said so far. I welcomed us, and then I launched the meeting, and then introduced the title, and then shared with you the process of this work, and then shared with you the meaning and how I was able to draw the concept from the meaning of the arts. And then I did a run through the concept, how it came from the Bible, and then the message behind the work. So that's where I will stop for now. I hope my photography has been able to speak to you. So I'll be bringing in our guest speaker to also help us to answer certain questions. Now, what are high-end countries that we've been talking about, high-end countries, and how can we thrive in high-end countries, even as a woman? So I have with me Miss Onwuka Victory. I'm very grateful to have you here. I'm mindful that you just finished a class with your students in telecommunication, and you had to also switch to this channel to join us in this art talk. I'm very grateful that you gave me this privilege to involve you in this. And then I also recall that you had over a lot of speaking engagements. People proposed to involve you in for this month of May. You accepted only 4, and then this is one of the 4 that you accepted. So thank you very much, Ma, for accepting to share your knowledge with us. I don't take it for granted. God bless you for that. I'm going to be handing over to you. If you have any question, you can drop it at the comments box. I've made a space for you so that we can address your question. But for want of time, we may not do much with question and answers. But if we have enough time, we are going to do it. But I'm going to be calling you up, Ma, to help us to explore this concept of, high income trade and how we can thrive in it as women. So I want to welcome you, Ma. Thank you very much. You are welcome.
Hello everyone, good evening. Thank you so much, Langford, for the breakdown on this art and everything you present and everything. Like looking at it, someone will come up with all of this content or the explanation. We now know the behind the scenes of that your art and it really speaks for you. Thank you so much and thank you so much for the breakdown on the high income trade, what a man should expect and a woman as well. You shouldn't feel intimidated when your wife is doing well and all of those things. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much also for the opportunity to speak on this one. It's really an exceptional one. I think this is the first time I'm doing something like this, different from the normal things I do. So I'm really grateful. Thank you so much. So, good evening, everyone. I'm Olka Victory. So, I'm going to be taking you on what are these high income trade, and most I'll be speaking from the women's side. This high income trade, it doesn't mean that it's only a woman that can venture into it. It's generally, but I might be throwing more light on the like women aspect. Then, because obviously this is Judas' daughter we're talking about here, right? So it's more of a female thing, but it's totally okay. As a guy, you're still going to benefit from whatever we talk about. So, first of all, I know you have said something about a high income trade, but I'll just throw more light. I'll just say something again, and then we continue from there. So, first of all, in this our context, what is high income trade? So, I'll say it's something, a career or a skill that you can do to earn money above the average. Like you're using it to earn money. It could be like barbing, for example. Barbing is more like a skill, and then you're using it to make money. You're earning from it as a man or a woman, female also barber hot hair. So you're using it to aim in whatever field. It could be as a barber, it could be as an electrician, it could be as a surgeon, it could be as a doctor, whatever field they are doing. And then you're into making money without your career and profession, requiring sometimes you can require skills. Like I said, barbing is also a skill, right? Sometimes you can want to also leverage on what you do. Like let's say you have a talent, you might want to leverage on what you know or what you do, like polish yourself, improve yourself so that people see you as someone that have something maximum to offer. People see you as someone that has something very good that they can tap in from. I There was a time I read a book. I've forgotten the title of that book, and then it speaks more about this when it comes to talent and something about skills. Now it says there's nobody born into this world without having a talent or a skill. There's nobody born into this world without having a talent and a skill. But it's left for you to discover it. It's left for you to know it. Some people growing up they could sing very well and all of those things, but they didn't discover that as their skill. They might push it aside and say, "What would I singing to do?" But you see people they go on stage, they sing Nigeria Got Talent, some of these things they do, and they get money, they get visibility. People invite them for gigs, come and sing in my wedding, come and sing in my child education, so many of those things, and they earn from it. But teacher, what does she do? Is it not singing? We know her as a singer, we know her as minister of God. Like she sings, she ministers through singing. This is what we know her for. But then, if you want to go and pay her for her services, I don't think it's going to be cheap. Or if you ask her what's your rate, what's your charge rate, I don't think it's going to be cheap because of she has discovered that her voice is a gift, her voice is a talent, and see how far she has come with it. See how well she's doing with it. And I even came to know, oh, for Mercy Chinwo, there was a time she was on there's this song this thing they normally do. I don't know, I can't remember the name. They normally do every year or so. Forgotten that something. I discovered that she was there on that platform and she didn't even qualify for the next platform for the next round because she had to qualify to then they get a winner. A voice of Nigeria, something like that. This is the voice again, something like that. So she was there on that platform and she didn't do well and then she dropped out. But now see her today, you won't compare her to where she was that time because obviously there have been lots of improvements, maybe voice training, singing school, or whatever it is to better herself, and we can see how well she's doing for herself now. So you can have a trade, but it's not a high income trade. Why? Because you have not polished yourself with required skills. You have not undergone the necessary training you have to undergo. Let's use gold for an example. This example I want to give might be very familiar. Let's use gold for an example. Someone has gold and then gold is from the ground, right? You bring out gold. When you bring it out, it's not going to be gold in your eyes. If it's gold in your eyes, everybody will be digging out gold now. But you see that you need to go through some refining, you need to purify it, remove all those dirt that are with it. Sometimes other minerals come together with the gold. You need to separate them, do some kind of chemical work with them before you get the real gold, and then they sell it very expensive. They sell it very costly because of it has gone through some purification, it has gone through some refining. It's not the way they got it. Are you understanding me? So now, since it has gone through all those process, it's now high income. It now has value. Like the value is flaring. It's now I don't know how to explain it to you. So it's no longer the way it was dug out from the ground. So this is what happens here. You might have a talent, you might have a skill, but one thing you should know that your talent or your skill can lead you to making like high income money and all of this. It can result in high income trade if you treat it the way it's supposed to be treated. If you take it the way it's supposed to be, it can result to that. Don't only look at specific and say, oh, it's only this business that do well, it's only hair business that does well, or it's only skincare business that does well. No, there are some persons selling granules and they are ability to raise their children, their ability to train their children. Some are even in the abroad and you'll be wondering, only granules. Yes, granules, they fry it and they sell. And you'll be wondering, so this granule. But then there are things this person has been doing. This person has been consistent, this person has been persistent, this person has been patient. And these are the three things you need in your journey if you're going to be making high income trends. Those three things are just a persistent, consistency, and consistency and patience. These are the three things you need if you're going to be getting high income trades. I'll use myself for an example. I'm a telecom vendor. I'm a data reseller, and simply put, I sell data. Now, I'll use my journey to explain these three things I just said. One, when it comes to patience, I always tell my students that it took me 8 months before I had to make my first sale on Facebook. And I don't know, anytime I make this sentence, if everybody's like, wow, everybody's like surprised, like, how did you put through? And I don't really get it. Like, me too, I don't know how I put through, but I knew that I had a drive, which is my persistence. I knew I wanted to achieve something. I had a vision. What's my vision? I wanted to change the narrative about data reselling because when it comes to data reselling, people see data reselling as a business that doesn't amount to nothing. People think the profit is only 200 naira. I'm saying 200 naira is big. People think the profit is just 5 naira, 10 naira. So they look down on business. Nobody wants to do it. They feel it's just waste of time and all of me too. I started like that too. When I also started, I was asking who will buy, what's there. Like I was also but I had a vision, which was my persistence. That vision was my drive. I knew what I wanted to achieve, and I was ready to go all out for it. I can't count how many times I had to be off social media because I didn't have a phone. My phone will spoil, and then I'll be off social media. I won't be able to sell. And data reselling is something that requires you for you to be 100% available because people need data at different time of the day. So you need to be available to serve these people. So I couldn't do that, and for every time I have to start all over again, I'll lose customers. Kind of, I'll lose trust because they feel they are paid. Because sometimes they're even paid to me, and I'm unable to sell to them. So that's terrible. Now I said 8 months before I was able to make my first sale on Facebook. This was patience for me because I know some of my students just one day they'll say, coach, we have not made any sales, or I don't know what is happening to my things. Doing them, let them pour olive oil on their business. And I'm telling them that you should be happy that you won't have someone to coach you or someone to teach you. I didn't have any coach when I was starting, so it was basically I was all alone, doing my own thing, try and error. If this works, then I'll take it good. If this doesn't work, I'll go back to my drawing board. So this was what I was doing. For 1 year, I didn't have anything to show for it. But I can point to my students, 1 year in business, they are doing so well. Like, I envy them. I'm proud of them. When I say envy, I don't mean wicked envy or bad envy. I envy them in the sense that I wish I had someone that was to teach me when I was 1 year. I won't be where I am today. I should be flying, but all of the same, I'm still grateful for my progress. I'm still grateful for how far I've come. So if I didn't persevere, if I wasn't patient with my journey, long time ago I would have dropped that and maybe picked up another business, let's say trip or perfume or any rampant one, and say, oh, is that one that is moving? People are making money from me, then I'll move. People don't really share the stories, what they go in, like what they see in all of these things. So you can't just believe that it's always rosy, it's going to be a sweet ride, it's going to be awesome. You need to know that it's not going to be easy. Making money itself is not going to be easy. The process where they purify gold is not easy. It takes a lot of work. That's why when they are done, they sell it very, very expensive. It can run in dollars, it can run in pounds, it can run in euros. I don't know how much it costs. But it's very, very, very expensive because of the process they undergo. It's simply what happens here. By the time these people they have refined their business, everything, the process, they now place a high value on it, they place a high rate on it, they place a high worth on it because it has undergone certification. It's no more the same way it is. It's no longer the same way it is. So these are the things you need to put in mind when it comes to getting high ups. I believe that for anything anybody does, even though he's selling granite or even though he's selling peanut or even though he's selling fish, for anything anybody does, you can do great things with it. You can do powerful things with it. But it depends on you. Are you ready for that? Are you ready to persevere? Are you ready to go all out for it? Are you ready to achieve that? Are you ready for it? Most people nowadays just want overnight success. You just want to sleep and then see money all over them. I am not going to shout when you say that. You will not say they have built your destiny. Nobody wants to put in the work. Everybody just wants already made. But it's not supposed to be so. There's reward for labor. There's reward for every hard work. There's always reward. So by the time you put in the work, by the time you do the necessary thing that you're supposed to do, definitely you're going to be making high income in whatever trade you're doing. Anything it is, name it. People need your service. So far you're serving a solution. So far you're helping people, you're providing solutions to people. You're definitely going to see people that need your service. You're going to see people that need what you do, and they will buy in full. They will buy very, very well. Now, another thing we should know is it's very important for us to set goals. I know you must have heard the goals a number of times. Sometimes when people even talk about goals, I'm like goals, 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 goals. Tiring. I know you must have heard goals so many times. I'm not going to tell you about the smart, specific, all of these things. No, I'm not going to be talking about that. But it's very, very important to set goals for what you want to achieve in your business. Because you know what? When the chips are down, when you feel like don't go well, like I said, it's not going to be overnight. There are some days you're going to be overwhelmed. I could relate. There are some days I felt like crying because I felt my business was not moving. I said 8 months, right? It's enough for anybody to give up. There are some days I cried because my business was not moving. There was a day I felt so bad. I didn't have a phone. I could not communicate. Left my customers stranded, and I couldn't do anything about it because how will I reach my? I don't even know the person's number to start with. So how will I reach the person? Or was it when my phone was stolen? As in different scenarios. You understand? And I was stranded. I didn't know what to do. But I had a goal. I know what I wanted to achieve with this business, and I stuck to it. I said, no matter what happens, I'm going to find my way back in, and I'll continue from where I stopped. It's not going to be easy, but I'm going to pull through. Now, my goal was my drive when it keeps me down. My goal kept me pushing. What I wanted to achieve kept me pushing. My vision, what I wanted for myself, what I wanted for the business kept me pushing. And I kept pushing until where I am today. So even as a woman, don't say that the money is for only the men, only the men should make money. As a woman, you deserve supply. Nobody says you don't deserve supply. Even the men deserve supply because they work their ass out and then come back home because the Bible says the men will till the soil, so they should till the soil and die. Everybody deserves stuff like yeah. But then it places more value on yourself when you're able to provide. You're a helper. The Bible says, and God made Eve from Adam, right? Eve was created from Adam, like from which is real, and then he created Eve. Eve was a helper to Adam, even though she went to go and eat the apple, did not say that. She was a helper. She was there to help Adam because God says he did not want man to be lonely. So the first thing was for companionship. He didn't want man to be lonely. So for companionship, you also help your husband, you help your spouse, whatever it is. So you're not there to now say, oh, I'm giving supply, so my husband should do everything. It's beautiful when a woman has a hand on something, even though you stay at home mom, your what do they call this thing? Nursing mother, whatever it is, a student, whatever it is, being a female does not mean a weakling or you shouldn't be doing anything. You can do the little things and make money for yourself. Doing those little things does not mean you're going to hit the jackpot immediately, but with time, like I said, perseverance, patience, consistency, very, very important. You cannot in the book of success, consistency is number one. In the book of success, when you see a book and that book, the name of that book is success, from the first page, consistency is the number one, is the top of the list because it's in consistency you prove yourself. It's in consistency people get to know you. It's in consistency people believe in what you do. It's in consistency people believe in your dreams. It's in consistency people can relate with your goals, what you want to achieve. So consistency, like 70% of the work is consistency. 70% of the work is consistency. So once you're consistent, so many things are done. Me, I was consistent for those 8 months. I was consistent. This time I could get access to my phone and then post and all of those things. I was consistent. I was I was letting people know about my service, and it goes to a point they were able to know where I was coming from, and they started patronizing me. They started buying what I was doing. They could not believe what this girl is doing because obviously you cannot buy from somebody you don't know, right? Yes. So it's very, very important to do the work so that you get high income skill, high income trade, high income. This money we want as high income trade is very, very important. And then when you start your business, it does not mean that, like I said before, immediately it's going to hammer. You're going to give yourself time, which is patience I've talked about. Also, your effort is very, very important. Make deliberate efforts. Work hand in hand with the goals you've laid down. It could be a weekly goal, it could be a monthly goal, but I prefer weekly goals because weekly goals help you stay accountable. For monthly goals, it could be so long and then you feel tired and then you don't fulfill them at all. But once it's a weekly goal, you know in 1 week, in 7 days, you need to complete this, and it's very, very easy. you just start doing it quickly. And if you know that within yourself you'll not be able to achieve what you've laid down, you can as well get an accountability partner, somebody you can be accountable to. It could be your friend, it could be your family member, it could be anybody, someone you know that will hold your hand side by side and then help you achieve that you want to achieve. You can tell the person, explain everything, tell the person what you want to achieve, so that every day that person comes to you to know how far you've gone and how well you're doing, which is very, very important. So there are so many high income skills you can do. Nowadays you see the content writers, photography, drawing, even drawing. There's a girl I know that draws so well on Facebook, and what she draws is just abstract design. You see one design she's selling for 82,000, see another design she's selling 100k plus, and she's selling her money. People buy those her paint art or painting. I don't even really know what to call it. Not like demeaning her work, but I think it's an art or a painting. I don't really know. But people buy those her work and then put it in their houses to decorate their houses. She sells. I know her very well on Facebook. So don't look down on any skill and say no. It could be that she was born and she found out that she's talented with painting, and then she started training herself on that, and then now she's making money from it. Which is why I said from earlier, I said with singing, I said it could be a talent, it could be a gift. You're very good with it. And there's some person they are very good at convincing people. They can close sales very well. If they talk to you, you must buy that thing they're selling, even though it's soccer way that they sell to you, you will buy it because they have this mouth to convince you to buy whatever they sell. It's a skill. There are people out there, all these companies looking for people that will help them close deals, help them close sales. You can be employed and then they pay you. It's work now, Shay. You can be employed and then they pay you for your service that you're helping them close deals in the company. It's a very good thing. So when you find out your skill, don't shush yourself, don't close your mouth and say, no, 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 this one is irrelevant. Waiting, I will use this one do now. You can draw very well. You say, what will I use this and do now? Will this one pay your bills? My dear, it can pay your bills. By the time you improve, you go to where they do it very well, you learn, you know what is involved. My dear, it will pay your bills and more. And since it's your talent, something you love doing, you will do it with ease. It's not like anybody is forcing you any day. With ease. Just like you call Mercy Chinwo now to a concert and you tell her to come and sing. Her voice will just open wide and she'll start singing. She's not forcing herself because this is something she loves and she does it with ease. This is what talent and gifts can do for you, compared to when it's something you're learning on and then you're struggling, you're forcing yourself. Sometimes you mom, I don't like this thing, and just because say that one you're not doing it in your mind. It's not what you want to do. You'll be frustrated there for almost every day. So there's nothing you cannot do and make high income pay from it. There's nothing, no matter even though you're a shaman, you can make money from it. No matter what you do, as a male, as a female, no matter what it is, you can make money from it. You just need to put the right things in place, which I've said. I've shared my own story. I've shared how I started and everything. Now people see that I is selling as an oil well because I've said that that's it. People see the light in the business and then they want to learn. Every corner you go, you see that I sell as because now they want to learn. They have seen, they have known, and now they want to do very well in it. This is what we are talking about. If I didn't come up, I think I was the first advertiser because I didn't see any seller that was talking about it when I started. I think I was the first person. And then now, still where it is today, people have seen the light and then they could relate to what I'm saying. They could relate that, yes, there's money in the territory, and they could relate to that my vision, which I'm still pursuing. So you could be the light in that business. I don't know what you want to do, maybe content writing or creative writing or anything, skill, talent, whatever it is. There's nothing that's not teachable, even though you want to go and learn a skill, graphic design, whatever it is, you can learn and then start. The way you would do so well, you know, believe so far your mind is in it, so far you're interested, so far you're patient with your goal. Don't go and compare yourself with anybody. No, comparison is the tip of time. Don't go and say, oh, you started since 4 years, me I've been here since 1 year, not to for it. Do not compare your journey with anybody's journey because you don't know what they have seen, you don't know what they have experienced. The both of this journey is not the same. Your story is unique, that person's story is unique. So comparison is a no-no. Instead, you can say you want to learn because there are some things that other person have experienced that you have not even known, you don't even know. And you may need them in your own journey since you're just beginning. So it might be beautiful for you to say, please, can you teach me this thing? Please, I would like to learn from you and all of those things. Then you're going to go and compare somebody's journey. It does not make any sense. You just be making a fool out of yourself. Another means you can maybe get a mentor, somebody you know that is very good, and say, please, I want you to mentor me in this thing for 1 month, for 2 months, for 3 months. How much will I pay? Please, if you can pay for your service, please don't go down and be feeling entitled. Pay, teach me now. When you teach me finish, I'll pay you. That's crazy. It's madness. You can go them to them, tell them you want to learn, ask them their fee, pay for it, and then get the knowledge you want to get. So you'll be the best for it. The money that you make from that single knowledge, because if it's a very good tutor, they will tell you everything without holding anything back. They will teach you, and then at the end of the day, you yourself will become very good, and you also make money. So these are the ways you can actually make high income trade in your profession, in your career, whatever you're doing. You just have to polish that thing you're doing. Upgrade if it means to upgrade, upskill if it means to upskill. Be the best, no matter whatever they do, and they call the best people in this field. Let your name be there. As a content writer, they are looking for the best content writers. Let your name be there. As the telecom expert, they are looking for the best telecom expert. Let them not close their mouth until they mention your name. Let your name be there. Strive to be the best. You're not in competition with anyone else, but you're in competition with yourself. You're trying to be better than you were yesterday. You have to make progress. You don't have to be the same person you were on the 9th. Today is 10th of May. You don't have to be the same person that you were yesterday. No. They have, even though it's 1% progress. Atomic Habit says, even though it's 1%, at the end of the day, you see that at the end of the week, you see that you're 7% better than you were the other week. And this is how you keep gaining momentum until one day you just grow. You just stay everywhere. Just like this boy, last boy that sang Umbrella and which other song did they sing? I think I've read this portfolio one time that he was into comedy, and people insulted him that if he wasn't into go with his comedy, he started singing, and people insulted him that he was not good with singing, that he should go back to his comedy. And then he went back to his comedy, then went to a digital marketing school, upskill, land, and all of those things. Then came back to sing this first song, sorry. And now with the marketing and everything he put up, everything was a hit. Now his second song is also out, and now it's also a hit. And people are wondering, where did this person come out from? Who is this person? Who's that with this? That time you're building, nobody knows what you're going through. They think you're playing, you're not serious. But by the time you now become everywhere, by the time you explode, by the time your career moment begins, everybody will be wondering, was it overnight? So people say you're due to do. People will be saying different things because they cannot understand. What is your journey? You know what happened. You know how we got here. That's why I said everybody has a unique story. You're the only one to tell us how you got here. If last boy did not share a story, I won't be able to explain this one I said. You understand? So you push yourself, you do the right thing. Those things, they are just the same thing for everybody. Is the same rules. It's just that the difference is just that the people that take action and the people that don't take action. If you listen to me and you decide to take action, I promise you, even in 1 month, even though it's granite you're selling, even though it's nylon you're selling, there's going to be improvement. If you want us to bet, it's a bet. But by the time you listen and then you close your mouth or you say, it's too hard. Have I ever mentioned anything like easy here? No. Nobody said it's going to be easy. I've also said my own part where I cry. Is crying easy? I mean, something that makes you to cry. Is it something that's easy? It's going to be difficult. It will cause you pain. Sometimes you even lose more than you gain. But you know what you want. You know what you're pursuing. You know what you want to achieve. So you keep going till you've gotten it. You keep going until you've achieved it. You keep going till you get what you want. And when you've gotten, people ask you questions. How did you get here? How did you do it? What happened? Then you start to share your story. They'll be wow, some people will be inspired, some people want you to speak for them, some people want to hear from you. Different things. Different things. So this is what I have to say. It's very easy. No. Why am I saying easy? No, it's not easy. It's not going to be easy to get or to make out of what you know for it to be high income, but it's achievable. This is what I'm going to say. It's very possible. It's achievable. You just need to do the right thing. Be patient with yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. One way to be patient with yourself, don't compare with anybody. Focus on your lane. Congratulate others when you see them doing well. Pat yourself at the back when you're doing well. Whether it's a small win, it's a big win, celebrate yourself. Don't deprive yourself of celebration and say no until you reach that big height before you celebrate yourself. Or you win small and you say no, this is not, you've not done anything. It's a lie. You need reward yourself, and then keep going for the bigger one. One day you're going to hit it big, one day you're going to achieve it. So with all of these things I've said, I don't know if anybody has question, anybody has anything to say, please you can ask me. Thank you so much, thank God once again for this opportunity. I will not take it for granted, and I'm very grateful. Please, you have the floor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma. Thank you very much, ma, for the input you just made. Wow. God bless you. Like, Omo, you're loaded, though. No be small thing. Okay, so making a rundown through what you've said, I really appreciate what you said now. Like, you made me to understand that high income scale is anything, it can be anything, both even the little things that we feel that people are doing right now. It could be our talent, it could be our skill, it could be a business idea, it could be a common career, or anything possible that is an endeavor that we are into. But then what makes it high income is how we explore the economic possibilities of that endeavor through innovation, through perseverance, through creativity, through setting of goals. And then you highlighted consistency. That consistency is the number one factor in the book of success. In fact, that 70% of what we are going to need to actually bust through success is consistency. Yeah, because some people can be creative, innovative, and they might have nice strategies, but because they are not consistent enough to either hit success or to maintain success, at the end of the day, they fail. So I really appreciate that. And then you talked about that there's nothing you I cannot do and not scale to be in a high income trade. So it could be anything. So that means we can even inherit our family business that is not yet thriving and then scale it to a high income trade. So you also say we should get a mentor and that we should take action, like past active and consistent action. And that it may not be easy right now, but it is very achievable. It is very achievable. So thank you very much for that point. So for want of time, we are not going to take much questions. We are going to just look through just two questions here. Yeah, two. Okay, three. No, let's make it two. So maybe I will just drop the two questions, then you kind of give us the answer collectively. So the number one question is, how do you remain motivated and consistent when you are not getting clients and patronage? That is, how do you remain consistently motivated even when there is no results? Because I know that you see there are some of the things that can keep a man consistent, a business person. One of the things I suggest the person that's asking this question is suggesting that one of the things that can keep someone motivated is when there is results, when people are patronizing you. But then when there is no patronage, when there is no person that is coming for a result, that is giving you a result of what you need, then how do you remain motivated and consistent? And then between the second question here is between choosing a mentor and studying for yourself, which is more preferable, ma? So, okay, I think the person here means that maybe the person is asking, um, is it preferable for me to go for a mentor or for me to choose for myself? Maybe this person is suggesting that studying for yourself will kind of open you wider to the realm of creativity. But then maybe a mentor is going to mentor you, and after mentoring you, you are going to just be a copy of what that mentor has. But then maybe when you go explore it by yourself, you might even carve out a niche for yourself. So I don't know, maybe that's what the person means. But then between choosing a mentor for yourself and then self-study, which one is better? Or should a person go for the two? So these are the two questions we are going to be taking for this talk. We might not treat the rest because I think there are stuff that if you're listening to this voice record, you are going to still get the answer of these other questions. But Ma, if you can help us read this one, I will be very grateful. So over to you, Ma.
Okay, I'm going to start with the second question. Do you do self learning or do you need a mentor? See, there's something I've come to know that mentors are faster vehicles to success. Mentors are faster vehicles to success. Why? You want to learn by yourself. Let's say I'm starting data selling and I want to learn by myself. I've explained how long it took me to make sales. I've explained how long it took me to figure out what I should do because I didn't have a mentor. There was nobody I can point to say this person guided me that I was. But then my students I teach, I'm not like a mentor to them. Maybe I might be, I don't know. But then I direct them, I help them in any possible way. Immediately they start making sales. Immediately they know what to do. Like they have been in the business life for a long time. This is because they are taking my words from me that have been there. There's nothing I've not seen. Or let me say, I've seen many of the things, something that they may do and they might have issues. I've already talked to them about it. You see this particular one, don't do it, avoid it so that you're not going to have problems. You see this particular one, don't respond to the person when you message you like this so that you don't take your money and you don't send it and then you don't pay me. I've told them all the things. This is what a mentor does. A mentor which is to guide you. So when you have all those guidance, you have someone even encouraging you. Like these days, you don't even have to. Your, excuse me, your mentor could be the person that is your moving drive. Your mentor can be the person that will be saying, "Don't worry, keep going. You're going to get." Sometimes he might reward you, or the girl might reward you. I don't know, he or her, whoever your mentor is, might reward you and say, "Don't worry, keep going. It's going to get better." They are more like a father figure there to hold your hands and guide you. So for me, I'll always pick a mentor. I will always pick a mentor, somebody that can show me the way, no matter how much it is I pay. But that person is going to show me the way. That person will be there when I have questions. That person will be there to direct me. I'll always choose a mentor compared to when I have to do everything alone. It's going to be difficult. Now, when it comes to the first question, like I'm forgetting. Um, okay,
The
how do you
first
stay
question asks,
motivated?
how do you stay motivated? Yeah.
Yeah, how do you stay motivated when you're not making sales? Now, that's why I said you need to have a goal, you need to know what you want to achieve. The first course I teach my students is what is your strong one. I tell them it's not because you see me selling data that you say you want to sell data, is a lie. We may have our different reasons. I may be selling data because I want to help my parents. I want to be able to fend for myself in school. Your own reason might be because you want to start up a business. Another person's reason might be because, oh, I want to be able to achieve so and so things for myself. I want to be able to build an empire. I want to be able to build a shop. So we have our different reasons. Now, when you're not making sales, those things are your motivation. It helps you to push. You're not making sales mean people have not seen you. People have not know what you're doing. There's no how people will see you and you not make sales. When I was starting, there were days I could go a week without making sales because nobody knew me, nobody knows what I was doing. But today, even though I decided to wake up this morning and I say I don't want to say anything on social media, I don't want to talk on Facebook, I don't want to talk on WhatsApp, I'll still receive data orders. Why? My name has been registered in people's mind that this is what I do. So whether I post or not, I'll still get sales. Now you cannot compare to someone that is just starting, like I said, because that person has not really done anything, and then you want to stay, you don't post. who will buy from you? You will stay without sales. So these things are in stages. It doesn't mean that forever and ever you stay without sales. There's something we call building. Just like you build a house, you lay the blocks, foundation, everything. One day that house will complete. You will roof it, right? You will roof it, put the doors, the windows, everything to complete. And when it's complete, it can never go back to the other stage where you start to put blocks again. Those windows or whatever you have built will not remove that you have to go back to square one. You have to put blocks again. It's a lie. Unless something tragic happens, tragic in the sense that maybe this person lost his or her Facebook account, or maybe this person died and no more. If nobody has the pin or password to the account, some of those things. Just like a house too, except maybe there's an earthquake or maybe rain pulled off the window or something. But in the normal state, it will not go back to square one except something happens. So it's the same thing with all of these things. You cannot fold your hands and say you want to make sales when you're not doing anything about it. Some people just like enjoying it. They don't want to do anything, but they want to be getting money. It's a lie now. Now who work for chop? So it's just as simple as that. It's just you apply the basic principles and you see them working for you. So that's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Ma. Wow, the answer to this question was very profound and clear, and I hope that yeah, we are all clear now. Thank you very much. I really appreciate. God bless you. And also, it's nice having you here in this art talk. Thank you for making our time to come and speak to us concerning high income traders. And thank you to our listeners, both those of us that are here now and those of us that are going to listen to the recorded version in the future as I spread it across, especially those in the WhatsApp group. I want to say thank you for following through to this point. I hope that photography and art has been able to speak to you, I've been able to use it as a tool to communicate a clear idea that can also add value to you. So thank you very much for that. Please, you can also subscribe to this channel because we are going to be bringing more virtual art talks here. We are going to be talking about things cutting across religion, secular world, and career, and so many other topics. Children, we're going to be relationship. We're going to be talking about a lot over time when we keep creating concepts and artworks that have meaning behind them. We are going to be bringing them to this Telegram channel, and we're going to be discussing it. And I believe that our world will be kind of better when we continue this way. Little by little, we'll start adding value to people that are listening to it, and then people will be learning from this channel. So you can always subscribe to stay tuned. We will keep dropping stuff like this from time to time. So thank you very much, everyone. I'll be signing out from here right now, and then see you soon. Bye. God bless you.